Has Jon Snow become overpowered? Since the show doesn't have the same level of detail and backstory, I'll be using the book's version of the story to bring up points and arguments here. Before I go into full nerd mode and start analyzing Jon's strengths and weaknesses, I just want to thank any of you who went out and checked out my new game out on Android and iPhone after I linked it in my last video. If you didn't see it, I'll also put links in this video's description. Jon Snow is slightly different when comparing the show and book versions of this character. Jon Snow is only 16 in the books, which will most likely make him less physically stronger, but he makes up for it with his magic. Jon and Arya are both undoubtedly wargs, and for some reason, the show omitted this portion of the story. Jon, however, is nowhere near as powerful of a warg as Bran. He knows of his abilities, but doesn't fully understand how to use them. Jon has experienced wolf dreams where he entered Ghost while asleep, and was able to scout for wildlings beyond the wall. The last time we see Jon in the books is when the Brothers of the Night Watch betray him because they see him as an unfit Lord Commander. In his dying moments, he mentions his direwolf Ghost, leading many readers to believe he may warg into him right before dying. I'm not too convinced by this theory. I think the book will follow the same form of resurrection the show did and have Melisandre do the honors. The show also reveals Jon's likely parents in the books, Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark. This would be the first time these two families came together. What makes this childbirth so special is it combines both families' magic. Jon has taken his mother's side, gene-wise, and is capable of the Stark skin changer magic. It's unknown if Jon will inherit his father's side of the family's magic. Targaryens can control dragons, and some see into the future through something called dragon dreams, fairly similar to warging in green dreams. All this magic makes Jon powerful, but with Bran and Daenerys in the story, it doesn't make him the most powerful. Bran will soon have full control over his green sight after training with the three-eyed raven, and Daenerys will most likely have full control over Drogon and be able to ride him into battle soon enough. Her other two dragons, however, will never truly be tamed by her. Dragons have only ever had one master at a time, so this opens up an opportunity for Jon to become a dragon rider. What differentiates Jon from Bran and Daenerys is his skill in battle. Jon trained his entire life at Winterfell to become a fighter. He hasn't had much battle experience, being only 16, and isn't in the gifted category like Barristan Selmy or even Jaime Lannister, but it's safe to say he's a good fighter. He's also not a bad strategist. The moment House Mormont gave Jon his Valyrian steel sword Longclaw after he saved his life, he entered a whole new category. The only other character comparable to Jon is possibly the Night's King. That's if he is capable of more than just the regular others. Jon's biggest weakness was the same as his adoptive father's. After Melisandre returns him from the dead in the books, I hope his character has a more drastic change than it did in the show like it was supposed to. Having honor will not stop him against the Night's King. A darker Jon Snow may be even more powerful than the overpowered character he already was. The show has made him the new Lord of Winterfell and command over the wildlings and Night's Watch, and it's possible the same may happen in the books. With his warging, dragging magic, Valyrian steel sword, fighting abilities, a more dangerous personality, and an eventual command of an army, it's without a doubt that Jon is overpowered. Whether or not it's bad or good for the story is hard to say. We'll have to see if it's necessary to make him almost a god when it seems like Daenerys alone is capable enough for the Night's King and his entire army. With Jon, Bran, and Dany all on the same team, I don't see how any enemy can really be much of a threat. If you agree or disagree with me, I'd like to hear your reasoning. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit more of a short fun discussion, unlike my last video, which was long and strictly searching for evidence. I'll link that video now if you're interested in seeing every instance in which Arya changed her identity. Thanks for watching.